My wife and I have had a lot of extraordinary experiences in Alabama courts, both state and federal, and I've written about many of those on my blog, Legal Schnauzer. But maybe one of the most profound involved a federal judge, William M. Acker Jr., who is presiding over my federal lawsuit in the Northern District of Alabama involving my wrongful termination, unlawful termination at the University of Alabama at Birmingham, UAB. And what's so extraordinary about Judge Acker's actions in that case, number one, he's acted in a blatantly unlawful fashion. He, as I have shown the documents on the blog, he has treated the case as a motion for summary judgment, which by law means that there has to be discovery, that I'm the non-moving party and there has to be discovery. He granted summary judgment to the University of Alabama and the various individual defendants, and that simply can't be done under the law. It's the equivalent of a baseball umpire who doesn't know that there's three strikes and you're out. I mean, it's just fundamental, simple. So to be cheated that way in court is pretty amazing in our society, where you think we have equal protection and due process. But not only that, but Acker told me right to my face and to my wife's face, she was there too, in court, that he was going to cheat us. First of all, he said that I was going to have to study up on what a document called a writ of mandamus, which is called an extraordinary writ. It's an appeal during the case that you have to go to the 11th Circuit in Atlanta. And this was on a very easy fundamental matter, and he told me, he didn't tell the other side that they were going to have to study up on a writ of mandamus. He just told me, and if you know the law and you know the circumstances, that means he was flat out telling me, I'm going to cheat you. Now, writ of mandamus is not designed to be done all the time. I mean, a trial court judge is supposed to get basic matters correct under the law. And Acker was telling me, I'm not going to do that. We're going to ship it over to Atlanta. We're going to waste taxpayers' money. I would have to pay $450 for every writ of mandamus that I were to file. So that's one instance where he told me he was going to cheat me. Then he said and these are his words, I know the people over at UAB are anxious about this case. Well, how does he know that? He can only know that if someone tells him. And that indicates there's been improper communication between a judge, and that can be criminal. It can be obstruction of justice. I mean, we're talking about my case, of course, is extremely important to me, and in the big picture, it's not an overwhelmingly important case. But we're talking about possible criminal behavior here by a federal judge. He's 84 years old. He was appointed by Ronald Reagan in the 1980s, and I don't believe the man is senile. I've seen no signs of that. But that he would just flat out make these kind of statements. And then, as I've reported on the blog, I filed a complaint. There's a process for filing complaints against a federal judge. It went to the 11th Circuit, and the Chief Judge, Acker-Dubina, who is also was appointed to the federal bench by Ronald Reagan, and he's also from Alabama, just gave excuses for Acker's decision. He came up with any excuse he could come up with. But the bottom line is, William Acker not only cheated me in terms of granting summary judgment when he couldn't be granted, he flat out told me what he was going to do, and he did it. So this is one of the reasons I started a blog, to show and to help show to citizens what actually goes on in our courts. It's scary stuff. It's the kind of thing that has caused Don Siegelman to be wrongfully sent to prison. Richard Scrushy is wrongfully in prison in a criminal case. But it can happen in civil matters too, and I've seen it firsthand. And this is an example of how federal judges really treat people, and they have absolutely no concern. They have lifetime appointments, and the arrogance is pretty breathtaking. We'll continue to follow this story, and we appreciate you checking in with us.